make sure they came here to take part in that and enjoy it. So, I mean, he did a great service to our town because of that. And unfortunately, other people some who came on council later, didn't like the idea that it was called the Blues Festival. So they wanted to change it to the Arts and Heritage Festival, which diminished it to that point. Okay. It took away the whole idea of the Blues Festival. But anyway, it was still successful. But and Jim, I even questioned him. He said, you know, he didn't want to get involved in any argument or problem, so he agreed to having the name changed. Then it faded away. And he tried to bring it back a few years ago. And this only happened one time a year. It was always the weekend after Labor Day weekend. And because it happened at the same time as the crawl, I mean, for one weekend, it was shot down. Or else it would still be going on today. I mean, he did a great job with that. Rest in peace, Jim. God bless you. And one other thing for Steve. The last meeting, I asked you if you would be able to find out who came up with the idea of the moment of silence and what the reasoning was. All right, good. Thank you. I mean, because to me, the moment of silence isn't the way Carnegie Borough meetings started. We always begin our meetings with a prayer, asking God for help and guidance. And for some reason, some person's idea thought that we shouldn't be doing that. We should have a moment of silence instead. Silence for what? But anyway, thanks. That's all I have.
Of course I do. I couldn't find anything funny on the facts. I have to get serious. So, really, I just want to pay tribute to all the armed forces. And again, you know, the opioid epidemic is not getting any better. So I'd like to say, if you know somebody within your family, not in your family, your neighbor, who has or does not have insurance, you can send them to Gateway Rehab and we'll take them with no insurance for whatever they evaluate as 21, 28 days. So money's really not the object. We're just trying to help the community, that's all. Thank you.
I just want to remind everyone, as stated earlier, that the 21st, everyone should get out and vote. It's usually a low turnout for the primaries, but make sure you educate yourself and go out and vote on the 21st. Thank you.
A couple of things. One thing we talked about earlier in council is that Public Works has been doing some work overnight on Main Street. We've got a couple guys that are working midnight shift, updating some of the lights that we have on Main Street. A lot of this work is budgeted for, but they're changing the sequencing of the lights so they'll really be closer together, but they're also shifting to LED at the same time, which means the borough will save some money on electric as well. And now we're kind of down to the very end of the project and the end of the budget, and we're recognizing that there's 4 or 5 more poles that need to be dealt with. And in the process of dealing with these poles, it's going to affect where the businesses or building owners receive their electricity. Because the goal through the whole process is to remove the power lines from the Main Street side and move them to the rear of the building. So there's 4 or 5 businesses where once the engineers work with their electricians to figure out how to accomplish this goal, we may actually have to pay to do this, but we think it's going to be worth it. And we think it's, well, we know it's a safety issue because the poles are old. You can't see it from the outside so much, but the inside of the poles are getting older. And we attached a sign to one of the poles. Give you an example. A year or so ago, and we had a strong windstorm. The pole got blown down. So we can't have that on Main Street. So while it's not a budgeted item, we may have to make some sacrifices on those things that were budgeted and put them off till next year to be able to pay for this year. But we're going to try and figure out a way to do that, and we continue to appreciate Public Works getting involved in infrastructure work, which is really kind of outside the scope of their real charter. They should be maintaining as opposed to building, but they've got the skill set and the willingness to do these things, and it's going to help us save money, and it's all good. So thanks again to Public Works for letting us know the criticalness and for making it happen. Thank you, Keith.
Thanks.
And the second thing is, Mayor Riley talked about how successful the 5K was this year, and it was truly remarkably successful. It was a record-beating year. That you're actually, the number you gave is actually wrong. It's $3,000 more than that. We got the final money in today from the online registrations. So more money was raised. And people always say, where's this money go? Well, it's really just about the same as if, Mary, if you came to me and said, I want to know where my tax dollars went. It's all part of the budget that gets spent on those things that break, that need to be fixed, those things that wear out that need to be replaced. It gets spent on updates to some of the equipment. But I can tell you something that we are going to spend the money on this year that we probably should have had many, many years ago. But cancer prevention is one of those things that's in the forefront of fire safety at this point in time. Modern buildings are filled with furniture, carpet, what have you, that's made of plastics. When plastics burn, the smoke that results is incredibly carcinogenous. It's a cancer-causing deal. And the best that we can do right now without what we're going to buy, we hose each other off after a fire. That's it. No soap, no water, we hose each other off to get the stuff off of us, and that's it. And that's the best we can do. But this year we're going to spend real money. I think the washer's $9,000, and the dryer unit I think is $7,000 or $8,000. But we're going to buy a washer and dryer, the professional, so that we can independently in-house wash our gear. Particularly important for those guys that are interior firefighters to be able to get their gear cleaned up after they're exposed to whatever's burning inside the building. So that's the kind of thing that the money goes to from the 5K, and we're very, very grateful for those that participated in the 5K as well as the businesses that helped sponsor it. And it's one heck of a fun morning. It really goes fast, and one of these years I'm actually going to beat our chief of police to the building. He says 5. He's here at 4:30. If he says 5:30, he's here at 5. You just can't beat the guy. But anyhow, again, many things go on. I thought I'd let you know what happens to the money this year. And that's all I have to
Do
say.
they know yet how they did on the cash match?
Do not know.
I have one other thing, Madam President. It was brought to my attention that the Christmas tree was cut down and taken care of. In general, the public needs to know that the tree had a split top. It was not able to be saved, so we did get it cut down, and there will be a replacement. It's not that we will not have a Christmas tree. I don't want anybody to panic, because I got a couple of panic people. We're a little concerned the tree got cut down. So it's all good. We'll be having another Christmas tree. It needed to come down.
Right, and that's another good deed that the fire department will be doing, is they'll be donating our next tree to be planted.
We sell Christmas trees. It's only fair that we give one back to the borough. Why not?
So,
I just have one thing, again, with our public works, boy, you're gonna have a big head, you're not gonna be able to. My grandson, who lives in Scott, they had a baseball game against the Carnegie team this week. And it was great for me because it was, right up the hill. But all the people from Scott Township were commenting on how beautiful our park is. how fantastic our public works take care of the baseball field and how beautiful our baseball fields are. And how, the upkeep and everything, and I just sat there like beaming, smiling. And said, that's our public works guys. But so many people commented about a couple people that knew that I lived here said, wow, your baseball fields are so beautiful. Who keeps them up? And I said, our public works guys do. And they commented about the park and everything. So again, kudos to our guys over there. That's all I have. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second, meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
So are you retired?
No, they won't let me.
Well, if he's getting free work, why would you let you retire?
It is free.
Is that what that is?
I'm sorry. We said
First few minutes of the meeting, oh, and anybody break time.
I still hear you.
One day that was one, that's the question, because you have to put up and tear down. So I'm having some
yeah, that's okay, I'll behave.
Any idea there's Thank you.
I didn't think about that.
They're traveling, so it could be, all right, thank you so much. Oh, you got all the things tonight.
You guys have a good night.
Tonight.